Okay, the epilogue is called The Return, but I don't know why. And I maybe it's because at one point she references a return to normalcy, which is a stupid phrase. But like the entire book, and the way she approaches life, the epilogue is a mess. It's all over the place, just word salad of crap. Um, she is all over the map and contradicting herself and things that she has said that she believes and things that are in the book. And she talks about how far the Republican Party has gone down the rabbit hole, and how much that scares her. Everybody that involved in January 6th should be in jail for the rest of their lives. I hope she believes that, because that's going to include some of her federal representatives. And, she talks about having a baby and how that changed her whole life. And beforehand, she thought all the things that people say about motherhood were, hyperbole. Now she thinks, it wasn't sold well enough to her. Again, she wasn't told the right things, I guess. That whole, why wasn't I prepared? And, she asks Ben, are you surprised I'm so good at motherhood? Yeah, whatever. I feel bad for that kid, because Meghan's uneven. So she talks about that. She talks about how she believes that that Liberty is the child she was supposed to have, and that there's some sort of divinity through her father. That when she's finally realizing she's probably never moving back to New York, so she went through all of the stuff from her apartment there. It's like a life of somebody else, dresses from red carpets and blah, 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 blah. So she gave most of it to charity, I guess, including the 74 funeral dresses she had to wear for the week of funerals that they did for her dad. But she kept the one that she wore in the National Cathedral. She got applause wearing that dress. She also talks about, civility and how we're supposed to get back to civility. She thinks about the pandemic in 3-month segments that, in 3 months it'll be normal, in 3 months it'll be normal, in 3 months it'll be normal. Honey, it was never going to go back to normal, because normal wasn't normal anyway. It never is. And the old adage, the only thing you can count on is change, is true. So things weren't going to go back to the way they were. And you have to figure out how you're going to navigate the things as they come. And it's clear through this whole book, Meghan, you don't have the ability to recognize a changing situation and be able to adapt to it. You need preparation and a lot of guidance. You consider yourself very independent, but you seem very needy in terms of how to function through life. She says, if we are going to continue to insult people in trucks with flags, we're going to lose them to Trump, who tells them he loves them. That might be true. But then she also says, after spending an entire chapter saying, and a book and a whole talking tour, saying that she is persecuted for being the only conservative on The View. And she's persecuted for what she believes. And the people that she worked with turned on her because of her views. She says, The only way I know how to deal with people to disagree that people, the only way I know how to deal with people who disagree with me is to fight with them. Start there, Meghan. It's the thing you're accusing everybody else of doing, of hating, when all we're doing is trying to find out if this is your view, can you defend it? Why do you feel that way? And your answer is to be combative. I don't know how to fix that. That one's up to you, girl. And until you get your shit together and realize that the world isn't trying to attack you, I get it. You live a whole different life in the public eye. There's gossip columns, and there's all sorts of things, and there's Twitter and social media and trolls that that you have to deal with that most people don't. But until you get it out of your head that everyone you encounter is coming after you, you're always going to see that, and you're always going to be disliked. You said that as long as we're coming after, as long as every time you see, CNN vilifying Tucker Carlson, all you're doing is giving him air and giving him more power. So I'm guessing from that, the answer, according to you, is that we shouldn't be calling out people when they say dangerous and stupid things. And that's an America that ends up with the insurrectionists from January 6th taking over. And that's what you basically just said you want for America. Stop vilifying the people saying dangerous, stupid shit. That's pathetic. She ends the epilogue by saying, the only way to get through hell is to just keep going. If she thinks this is hell, she hasn't been paying attention.